Alrighty, welcome to another Karlov Manor draft. We've got a Pro Tour to win, and by the time you see this, I'll have already done my first draft at the Pro Tour. Let's hope I open Ezreal Agency Chief, just like there. Alright, well, I'm going to take Ezreal Agency Chief. This card is busted. 5 mana, 5/5, double investigate. Also gets Vigilance, Lifelink, and Hexproof. Why, thank you very much. I will take that over... Course to Kill is also very good, but it's no real competition when you open Ezreal Agency Chief, and maybe we could be blue-white. Blue-white is a very good deck, so I wouldn't be unhappy about it at all. In fact, I'm going to draft this as if I was at the Pro Tour, facing off against many skilled opponents. But I'm going to play against arena players, so. All right, and pick 2. It's kind of brutal. There's not anything too great, but I guess Crime Stopper Sprite is reasonable. And it would take a lot worse than Crime Stopper Sprite to get me to take a non-blue-white card after first picking Ezreal. I'm not saying that it would be impossible, but I like the Sprite. And Inferi Snoop is okay, but I think the Sprite is better. I like Fester Leech and Tunnel Tipster. These are good cards, but pretty hard to argue against Crime Stopper. And then Novice Inspector, best common in the set. Fantastic card, just so good at everything it does. And another Course to Kill, passing some of those, and a Makeshift Binding, but no, Novice Inspector is just crazy good. The reason it's not apparent on first read how good this card is, and if we hadn't gotten to play with the Raven Inspector for years, everyone might not have been quite so quick to realize it, but just the fact that you get a 1/2 for just 1 mana, and then you can get another card out of it later, it just adds up exactly right. And the stats matter, and the ability matters. Like, it just all lines up to the point where it works out very well. I don't like these very much. I could take Candlestick, because at the very least it's a clue. Due Diligence is also okay. Hazda Vigilante. I mean, the best card in the pack is, like, there's Unscrupulous Agent and Crawl Whipcracker, but I'm not very close to wanting either of those. I think I'd rather have a Candlestick. I don't know. The card's pretty weak. Ooh, I do like No More Lies, though. A 2-drop... in these colors that kind of stop something is a lot better than Dramatic Accusation, because it's only 2 mana, especially on the draw. When you go land and have no 2-drop, and then they play their 3-drop on and you're going second, boom, countering it, then playing your own. That's some pretty good value. All right, I'll take an Out Cold. I really like this card, and especially in blue-white, I think it's very strong. Can make use of the clue well, is a good tempo play. I'm gonna take that over. Nothing really. Defenestrated Phantom is pretty bad. Okay, so Case File Auditor goes and finds enchantments. I don't have any of those, but I think Defenestrated Phantom is basically unplayable. It's just like not good to flip this or cast it. So I think I'm going to take the Case File Auditor just in case I pick up some enchantments to go find. Ooh, I'll take an 8th pick Deduce. I love Deduce. Drawing 2 cards, making a clue, just does all these good things. I like it more than Fairy Snoop. And it's not like we've gotten the nuts blue-white start. I'm going to put the Candlestick and Case File Auditor away for the time being. I don't think I'm going to play those cards. But we've got Ezreal. We got a 3rd pick Novice Inspector. We got a late No More Lies. And an 8th pick Deduce. 7th pick Out Cold. Like, those are, or I guess it was our 6th pick Out Cold, 7th pick Case File. But ending pack 1 with a premium common, 2 really good commons, a medium common, a great uncommon, and a busted rare. That's enough to keep me on the blue-white train unless something happens. Ooh, I like Eliminate the Impossible a lot. I think I like it more than Thinking Cap. It's just a really good combat trick, and because it makes a clue, you're not really down a card, so you can use this even for a fairly minor effect, up to and including stopping like 4 damage. Branch of Vitu-Ghazi is a fine disguised creature if you really need one. Griffknot Tracker isn't great, but it's okay. And getting one with 3 cards in the pack, that's not bad. I don't mind that at all. Let's see how these things line up. And sure, a Due Diligence pick 12 is enough. Not that I'm necessarily stoked to play it, but it's kind of a good sign to get a white card that late. And a last pick, Benthic Criminologist, that I will not be playing. But ooh, is that a Perimeter Enforcer? Yes, it is. I'll overlook the dumb-looking pants because, like, was this some kind of cowboy? I think Outlaws of Thunder Junction is coming up. But a 2-mana 1/1 flying lifelink that whenever you play detective gets a +1/+1. That seems great. How many detectives do I have? Just 4 right now, but I'm sure I'll end up with maybe in the 10 range, especially after taking Enforcer. I guess it doesn't count for himself. Passing a War Leader's Call and a Pyrotechnic Performer, some pretty good red cards. Also a Torch the Witness, also a shock. All right, everyone just take all these red cards. It's fine. I'll take my Perimeter Enforcer. Ooh, No More Lies versus Novice Inspector. Oh, it's going to be Novice Inspector. That card is just way too good. No More Lies is good, though. I think it's quite a bit better than Reasonable Doubt. Maybe it'll come back. It wouldn't be crazy to think that could happen. Well, what would be crazy is to pass Novice Inspector. Look, we've got a new workforce here. They're all novices, but somehow they're also the best. Passing a Lightning Helix and a Galvanize. Wow, someone's really getting the red cards here. Oh, and this looks like a fantastic Case of the Filched Falcon deck. This makes a clue, and I'll pretty easily have enough clues in play that I can just then use this to turn one of the clues into a 4/4. I do like On the Job, and I do like Mistway Spy. Both those cards are fine, but in this case, well, the Case of the Filched Falcon is exactly what I want. Also, it's a case for Case File Auditor. We could get there. Oh, and here we pick up a Market Watch Phantom. 2 mana, 2/2 flying on your turn most of the time. It's pretty good. I think it's better than Jaded Analyst and Bubble Smuggler, though all those cards are fine. You got to fill out your curve somehow, but we're on pace to draft an all-timer blue-white deck, a very, very strong one. We have the Agency Chief, we've got 3 Novice Inspectors, we have Perimeter Enforcer and Case of the Filched Falcon as strong uncommons. Like, we're doing great over here. Ooh, and there's another No More Lies. Yeah, I will take that, because with 3 Novice Inspectors, I can just leave up No More Lies and a clue and get paid off either way. I like it more than the Mediocre Equipment and Seasoned Consultant. I think No More Lies is going to be exactly what I'm looking for. Here, there's Thinking Cap and Crovad Haunch. I mean, taking an equipment to go with all these Novice Inspectors is kind of nice. There's also Granite Witness, which I think is just a fine card. It's not amazing. I kind of like the Crovad Haunch. Just equipping the Novice Inspectors does not seem bad to me. Oh, and here, another Market Watch Phantom. There's also Call a Surprise Witness, but that's at its best with 3 drops. I don't have a whole lot. I'm just going to take the Market Watch Phantom. I think that's fine. Not sure if I even want to play this Crovad Haunch. I think it's a little better than Thinking Cap, because this has the buyout. You get to cash it out for 3 life and 2 dogs, which is a pretty decent fallback. And then here, Essence of Antiquity, I think is just kind of bad. I'd rather take the Hazda Vigilante, though I don't really anticipate playing either. Oh, wow. No More Lies and On the Job. This looks like another No More Lies situation here. There might be some more lies. We have 3 of these. So actually, maybe that means we're really dedicated to having 0 more lies. But I just think that's a strong card. And this deck does not look like one that is going to try to overwhelm the opponent and cast On the Job. Like, I feel like I kind of don't need to do that. Though, we'll see. Maybe if I pick up an On the Job later, I might play it. But Pack 2 was certainly a lot better than Pack 1. Oh, a free magnifying glass. Oh, a Case of the Gateway Express. Okay, so when this comes into play, all your creatures, ping one of their creatures. So it takes out their creature probably. And then if you attack with 3 or more creatures, you get a aura or enchantment that says that your creatures get +1/+0. Yeah, I mean, this is also not a very strong pack. I don't want to splash at all. Make Your Move is just okay. All right, I'll take Case of the Gateway Express. I'll end up with enough creatures for that. Oh, an Unyielding Gatekeeper. It's a pretty good one. If you play it disguised, you flip it up. You can either flicker one of your own things or turn one of their things into a 2/2 detective. Yeah, that's going to be better than Cold Case Cracker. It also deals with big expensive things, which is kind of nice. And then here, I think it's a pretty easy makeshift binding. Just take a removal spell. I mean, Buried in the Garden and Quintorius are both kind of strong, but certainly not worth taking over a makeshift binding. We're not looking to splash. This deck is good enough and has enough powerful cards that, especially with the casting cost on Ezrim and the No More Lies, I'm not even going to come close to splashing here. This old frame Putrid Warrior always throws me off. It's very funny. What am I taking here? I could take Escape Tunnel, but with all the Novice Inspectors, I don't really want tap land. Same with Lush Portico. Museum Nightwatch. Yeah, maybe I'll take that. I don't really want Unauthorized Exit. I've got a lot of spells already. Between the No More Lies, the Binding, and the Out Cold, I'm not that worried. So let's just take Museum Nightwatch here. And it's fine. We'll play it. Okay, Granite Witness versus Jaded Analyst. I feel like now I'm going to take Granite Witness. I've got enough early plays that I don't need the Jaded Analyst. So I won't always make that pick, but it seems good here. And then here, we've got another Surprise Witness, but we'll just take Cold Case Cracker. Get a little bit of card advantage here. I think that seems fine. We don't need the combat tricks all that much. And I guess I'll take a Museum Night Watch, but I doubt I'm going to play 2. It does not seem like something I want to play. In fact, it's probably my weakest card here if I were to find one more. I could also play 17 lands plus Branch of Vitu-Ghazi as like an 18th land, which I might just end up doing, like 9 plains, 8 islands, something like that. And then here, I mean, I'll take Make Your Move, but again, I feel like I've got enough interaction, and that's one of the more situational ones, though I do like Make Your Move in general. And then here, yeah, sure, another Make Your Move. I'm not going to take Sanitation Automaton. I'm gonna make so many moves here. It's going to be an incredible amount of moves. And then nothing we're going to play. I mean, we basically have our deck at this point. I think I might cut the Night Watch, play Branch of Vitu-Ghazi. Like, this deck's so good that I'd rather just play an 18th land and downgrade the power a little bit in order to have a more consistent deck. All right, Lush Portico. I kind of don't want to play that. I feel like with 4 different 1-drops, I mean, the Case of the Filched Falcon's also 1-drop, but I don't really count that because Lush Portico is going to replace a Plains. But still, with 4 different 1-drops, feels like playing a tapped Plains is kind of a mistake. So this is 1 more Plains and boom. All right, let's get in there. I mean, this deck kind of built itself. Also, I always build my deck while I'm drafting. It's kind of hard. Like, how do you even draft without trying to build your deck? Like, you got to know how the cards are fitting in, what your curve looks like. So it's kind of the reason why the end of the cube drafts, like, I'm done with my deck already. Oh, will I keep this? The sick 1-drop, 2-drop, maybe 3-drop Case of the Express to kill their thing, or maybe just crack a clue into Ezram on 5. Yeah, the answer is I will in fact keep this, and I've got a good feeling about leveling up with this deck. This deck is nice. Turn 1, a Novice Inspector. It investigates. It's that little like icon there. That's funny. Perimeter Enforcer, and then if I end up wanting to crack a clue next turn, that's fine. If they play a 2-drop, I'll just kill it with the Gateway Express here. They didn't play anything, so let's just send for 2. And you know what? I'm going to crack this now, because if I draw a Novice Inspector, I'll be happy that I did. I drew a Crovad Hunch. All right, so I drew a 1-drop anyway. And I might have to play the Case and then pay the ward cost here if my opponent plays a Disguise creature, in which case I'll take it out. And against green-white, I will maybe play the Ezram on 5. You kind of want to wait on 6 for Ezram a lot of the time because it'll then have hexproof. Makeshift Binding on my Perimeter Enforcer. Yeah, that's a little annoying. Crime Stopper Sprite versus equipping Crovid Haunch. Let's just play the Crime Stopper. Oh, wow, I have to tap a creature? I guess I'll tap itself. That's funny. I suppose I should have attacked first. I didn't really realize that was going to happen. I think that, Buried in the Garden. They've got a lot of removal. Like, I don't know if that makes me more or less likely to want to play the Ezram here. Okay, so we're at 2 artifacts. I'm going to hit for 1 and then just cast Eliminate just to make a clue, just so I can flip Case of the Filched Falcon here. Because I want to start cracking these clues, so to try to hit my 5th and 6th land here. Opponent has a good deck too. Oh yeah, Novice Inspector. Like, every card they've played has been very good. But I'd still like my position here. Into a face down card. All right. And they can still crack their clue. Oh, no more lies, huh? Let's just equip the Novice Inspector here. And then I'm going to attack. And I think what I'm going to want to do here is just pass with no more lies up. And then use a clue end of turn. They might flip their face down creature, in which case leaving up no more lies isn't going to have done too much. But they also could just play like a 6-drop or something here. It wouldn't be surprising to me if they did. Not cracking the clue is like a little bit obvious, but you know, what are you going to do? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. All right. You got a face down card. And you're going to send, and I'll take it, and then end of turn crack a clue. Seems fine to me. Oh, Museum Night Watch, I will counter that. All right, they have 2 cards in hand. Oh, see? Branch, I think looks pretty good as a land here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this as a land. I'm going to animate one of my clues here. And I think send for 7. They're going to trade. All right. And then I'm going to crack a clue end of turn. I kind of just want to open the door for them to kill my 4/4, so then I can play Ezram, because I want to play Ezram on 6 mana. They've played a lot of removal so far. They've used it pretty aggressively. So, yep, there's an Unyielding Gatekeeper. All right, so I get a 2/2. They could have attacked me first. And then Crowd Control Warden. It's a 6/6. Okay. Let's crack a clue. Really wouldn't mind finding a... All right, well, I'm just going to trade here. And then if I draw a land, I'll play Ezram. I didn't, so I'm going to go deduce, draw. I'm not going to try to leave up No More Lies here. I'm just going to makeshift binding the Crowd Control Warden. I'm at 20 still. I didn't draw the land, so I'll wait. Tunnel Tipster, sure. And they have a bunch of mana up. Makes me a little nervous here. But I already have other artifacts in play, so they don't even really have a window to do this unless they have a counterspell, which off they're Buried in the Garden, which would be pretty wild. Okay, and then I pass the turn here, and I have my Ezram, which is just going to end this game. I mean, this is why we put the card in the deck, right? That's why we first picked it, why we didn't consider not playing blue-white. The card is just busted. Like, what are they going to do about this 5/5 hexproof? Look, when the card has so much text they have to scroll through it, then that means it's a good card to have. You can attack me. I will just take it. All right, draw, land. Yeah, I'm going to equip the Ezram with the Crowvod Haunch. And then I'm going to send for 7. I don't even think I'm going to gain life here. There's just no point. I'm just going to pass with all my mana up. I can give it hexproof multiple times if I need to. I've got No More Lies if they have something too big, though. That would be kind of tough. Archdruid's Charm, exiling. Okay. They've got their Crowd Control Warden back. They can attack me for 8 here and then die to Ezram. I would not have expected that the Case of the Gateway Express was never going to get cast that game, but here we are. All right. 1-0 start. Getting down in ranks there. All right. Ooh, we're busting into the Mythic ranks. My opponent's Mythic 396, and this hand is also Mythic level hand. I mean, turn 1 Inspector, turn 2, maybe crack a clue. Oh, I guess maybe just play Deduce. Basically, it's do I want to play Unyielding Gatekeeper face up? Because I'm not going to cast a Novice Inspector on 2 when I could spend 2 mana. Yeah, let's just sit here, generate clues, and then play the Unyielding Gatekeeper here is my plan. All right, deduce, draw. Ooh, Crime Stopper Sprite. I don't hate that, but I'm still going to play a face-down creature here. Look, if they have Slice from the Shadows or something, so be it. They have a Deduce off Gravestone Strider. Well, that's making use of the Gravestone Strider. That is not the card I expected them to play, but you know what? You go. All right. They're cracking the Escape Tunnel. And nothing else, huh? So I could attack. I think what I'm going to do is go Crime Stopper Sprite, tap down the Gravestone Strider, and attack. I feel like I can get better value off untapping my, flipping my Unyielding Gatekeeper a little bit later. They're going to crack a clue, sure. And then I'm going to play another Novice Inspector. And then next turn, Case of the Gateway Express is also just going to be awesome. because I'm going to kill something and get to flip my things. Wow. You have access to mana of every color and you cast Polygraph Orb? Sure. I could exile it with my elephant, but I don't really need to do that. All right, let's go Case the Gateway Express. Nug their creature. Boom. Yeah, they all took their shot. And then just going to hit for a bunch of damage, pass, and it's solved. Now my creatures are +1/+0, and like, I guess you got to have a sweeper here. If you don't, then you're just done. I mean, you could collect evidence, but it doesn't matter. I would just pay 3 life. I mean, there are sweepers in the set. We could get swept. We'd be able to rebuild pretty easily. We have a lot of clues. Can also use this, flip this up, exile Novice Inspector to get another clue. Destroy target tapped creature. Yeah, let's just flip up the Gatekeeper here. If they're not playing a sweeper, if they're trying to play 1-for-1 removal, let's just get some good value here. And now they can kill the Gatekeeper, I guess, or the Crime Stopper sprite again, and then I will still hit them for a ton of damage and then start cracking my clues. And I have Makeshift Binding for the first creature they play. So they look pretty dead to me. I'm not sure exactly how they're getting out of this one, but my guess is they're not going to do so easily. They have another removal spell here. I mean, even if you have a removal spell, you kill the Gatekeeper and you take 7 down to 2. I mean, I guess you get to keep playing Magic at that point, but it seems like it's going to be pretty hard to win. All right, I'll tap. Crime Stopper Sprite will stop itself. And then no place. I drew Ezreal. That's funny. Completely unnecessary, but also funny. I mean, Lightning Helix, well, I guess they can't have Lightning Helix based on how they've tapped. Lightning Helix would be the kind of card that could work. They're collecting evidence. Oh, Urgent Necropsy. Oh, they were going to try to get me. All right. Well, I'll sack a clue. They do get to kill the Gateway Express. Boom, boom. Take 5 down to 4. All right, then I'll play a Krovod Haunch. And actually, let's not equip. The reason not to equip is I just want to crack a clue end of turn because I want to be able to play Ezreal with mana up. And then now, if they play a big creature, they play Judith. Wow, okay. So now when they play a spell, they can give it Death Touch or make a 2/2. Okay, well, let's draw a card. Out cold. Draw another card, land. I'm just going to go Makeshift Binding, take out Judith here. They've clearly got a spell they can play. Reasonable Doubt. Oh, that's not even a good spell. All right. I'll pay, and I'll Binding Judith. And this deals 2 damage to each opponent. All right. I'll attack because they have to block the Gatekeeper. And then they go to 2. I go to 20. And my Novice Inspectors are just trucking in there like this, just the great cards they are. Out Cold will probably do this trick. Oh, Living Conundrum. They still have a million cards left. All right. They've done a surprisingly good job of stabilizing. It's too bad I'm going to have to cast Ezreal here and make it so that they don't have a chance. We'll see. If they've got a way to deal with Ezreal, that some do exist. They could extract a Confession, paying the evidence cost. Ooh, Surveillance Monitor. So they get to make a 1/1 and they can also collect evidence with that. Okay. And then that would give them another 1/1 and then I would lose 3 life. I don't think there's much that could kill Ezreal instant speed here, so I'm just going to draw a card. I feel like I have a lot of clues to go through. All right, land. Do I want to equip Novice Inspector? It doesn't really do too much. No, let's just attack with Ezreal. And they can collect evidence one more time under the current paradigm. All right, and then play Novice Inspector. I think I'm just going to leave up mana because I'm going to want to play Out Cold and crack a Clue end of turn probably. Nice. Yeah, I mean, Novice Inspector is a great card. I agree. It is very nice. They're going to Polygraph Orb here, I would imagine, because that also gets them a 1/1. Okay. Lose 3 life. And I guess their last play is using Gravestone Strider maybe. If they can put something into their graveyard, they can use the Polygraph Orb again, which would give them another 1/1 flyer. If they don't, I will Out Cold here. Okay, Cold Case Cracker here, sure. Attack with Surveillance Monitor. Really? I will block you with a bunch of Novice Inspectors and see what you do then. They could attack with face down card. Living Conundrum's attacking. Okay. Doesn't seem to be that they have good attacks. In fact, they don't. All right, let's tap down their 2 flyers and see if Ezreum can finish the game off. I will even crack a Clue. I guess I could have sacked the Haunch to make 2 1/1s. That's kind of funny. All right, equip 2. I guess there's no real point in equipping a Novice Inspector. I just don't have good attacks. I will attack with Ezreum though. See if they have an answer. They do not. All right, they stayed alive a lot longer than I thought, but this deck has a good early game and can close out well, which is a great combination. All right. 2-0, a good start. I'm going to be disappointed if I don't get to 7 with this one. Like, look at all these Novice Inspectors. Here's a game where I'm going to morph the branch, which will make it worse than a Museum Guard in general, but I did play it as a land, and it was much better as a land in the first game, so you know what? I will take it. All right, Perimeter Enforcer. Let me look at this. 1, 2, 3 on the play with 2 removal spells in hand. Granted, my creatures aren't the most impressive, so there is that. Oh, no. They've stopped me cold. Well, actually, I'm just going to Makeshift Binding the Onlooker. That card's pretty annoying. If it dies, you know, they can exile it to get 2 1/1s. It's going to stop my Perimeter Enforcer, which could get a lot of damage in here. And I have Out Cold, so when they do play something, I have ways to answer it, so I'm not too worried. All right. Let's go Novice Inspector to make the Enforcer bigger. And then play a face-down creature. And then hit for 2 in the air. And next turn, I'm probably going to go Out Cold, attack for 5, which isn't the biggest attack in the world, but I think it is probably better than just cracking some clues. I'm kind of assuming they're playing another card. Oh, well, this is fine. If they want to shock my 2/2 idiot, that works for me. All right, I will sack one of these, and I'll leave No More Lies up after that. It's like slightly obvious that I'm leaving up a counter, but what are you going to do? I will counter most things. Yeah, I will counter that. Because then I'm going to play, what did I get? A Fairy Snoop. Then I'm going to get a Cold Case Crackerino. Hit with Perimeter Enforcer. And yeah, they're in a lot of trouble. I mean, they're stuck on 3 lands. I have 4. 4 is a lot better than 3, but even I think without that, I don't know. I've had a really good game. And I haven't even gotten into my second clue, or my third clue, or my fourth clue yet. Frantic Scapegoat. It's not a very intimidating play. All right. Let's crack this clue. Because if I draw a land, I can play 2 things. I'll just play the Market Watch Phantom, and then next turn I can play Novice Inspector. Perimeter Enforcer gets big once again, or bigger. And oh, Night Drinker Moroi. All right, and then they trade, and then I get a clue. And they have a 1/1 that cannot block. All right, Night Drinker Moroi is a good one to keep in mind. Haven't run into that one so much so far. I'm probably not going to need this Griff Knot tracker. If I draw land and I can go Novice Inspector plus Out Cold, that would be pretty nice. I don't even really need to play Out Cold. It gets the 2 Novice Inspectors through. That's not very good because I can just... actually, I should play this because I want to give the Market Watch Phantom Flying. And then I'll play a face down Granite Witness and then send in the air for 4. And now Out Cold is definitely lethal. I guess they could have the 5-mana Black Sweeper, the like Unravel a Conspiracy or whatever. But I'd be left with 2 clues and a Griff Knot tracker. That's pretty good. Also, I'm at 32 because the Perimeter Enforcer has just been... I would say enforcing the perimeter extremely well. The perimeter is all locked down. Really? Face down card? That's kind of like conceding. Not that they had better options. Out Cold those 2. Their wards trigger and it doesn't matter. And kaboom! Well, that's an easy 3-0 and very close to ranking up. All right. 3-0 start, so we're on good pace. At this rate, we're going to go 100 now. This hand is okay. It has the classic No More Lies on the draw with the deduce as well. So if they don't have a 2-drop, I'd be pretty happy. It sounds like they're going to play something. 1-3 reach is just not the end of the world. I'm going to keep the Market Watch Phantom back because I think I'd rather just No More Lies whatever they play this turn. And if they don't play anything, then I'll cast deduce. And I'm happy with that. All right, No More Lies. No More Lies. What do you got? Oh, a Rubble Belt or a Green Belt Radical. And I drew a Novice Inspector. Don't mind if I do. And we'll play the Market Watch Phantom. I like getting 2 creatures out so I can get Case of the Gateway Express up. Oh, no plays. Let's play Crime Stopper Sprite. Give my Market Watch Phantom Flying, tap the Vitu-Ghazi Inspector, and if they have a way to kill an attacking creature, I don't really care too much. No plays. But they had priority, so I feel like they have a Topiary Panther, the land cycling cat, and they just don't really want to play it. Another 1-3 is actually kind of annoying. What do I want to do here? I could play Case of the Gateway Express. My concern with that is if they have a way to kill one of my creatures, it doesn't work. And I think here I have to draw an island to play Ezram. Let's just wait on the branch. I don't think I need a colorless land that badly. Aurelia the Law Above. All right, well, that, luckily, the Case of the Gateway Express will solve that pretty easily. Nug that. And then now if I attack with everything I flip and they can double block and kill one of my things, but then my creatures get way better after that. All right. I think that's worth it. They can double block Crime Stopper Sprite. I'm basically sacrificing a Crime Stopper Sprite to deal 5 to them and flip the case. And then I can play another case. And I think now I'm actually going to play the branch face up. Because I would rather flip the Case of the Filched Falcon, flip the Case of the Gateway Express, end of turn crack a clue. I just don't feel like I need to do otherwise. Excuse me? Okay. That's pretty good. Wow, they're not attacking with these 2. They draw a card if they did. Okay, well, let's crack a clue here. Island would be nice. Granite Witness. I could tap the Aurelia down. I think I might do that next turn. Or, yeah, I'll play this face down. This leaves up No More Lies, and I can flip the Granite Witness. And then also, I don't get to use Case of the Filched Falcon, but I think that is all right. Okay. I guess I'm just going to go for this. Turn this face up. Tap the Vitu-Ghazi Inspector. Block with the Granite Witness here. Hope they don't have a trick. They have +3/+3, sure. They have one card in hand. I still feel pretty good about this. Quintorius, that doesn't actually do that much. Okay, so I still can't cast Ezreal, but I think I am going to sack a clue here. Okay, and then I'm going to pass the turn. I can make, Case of the Filched Falcon can make my clue into a 4/4. Or I guess it'd actually be a 5/4. All right, they don't seem to have an answer to that, so I'm just going to make the clue big. Draw planes. It's not ideal. Attack here. And then I don't want to attack with 3 things because it would trigger Aurelia, which I think would be pretty bad. So let's go Perimeter Enforcer. I'm not even going to leave up No More Lies. I'm just going to play a Cold Case Cracker here. And then next turn, I can maybe send with a bunch of stuff. If 5 or more creatures, they Lightning Helix me. Okay, I'll block with the 4/3. If they have another trick, then I'm fine with that too. Sure. They have another +4/+4. They have one card in hand. And I mean, I guess I'll sack my clue here. I don't really see a reason not to do that now. Plains is nice. All right, well, I'll attack with my 5/4. They don't want to give up Aurelia. They're going to start chumping instead. Yeah, that makes sense. I think we're going to be okay here. I'll take 4. Actually, I'm going to block with the Perimeter Enforcer. It buys me a lot of hits, and I feel like with Ezreal in hand, I just need to draw an island and I win. Another Plains is really amazing. Okay, well, chumping again. All right. I'm probably getting in there with 2 things next turn. Oh, they had the Galvanize. Okay, I guess I'll have to draw an island at some point here. I can counter a 5-drop. That's all I can counter with No More Lies at this point. The funny thing is the second island that would make No More Lies good also just lets me cast Ezreal, which I assume will win me the game. Oh. Nice. A card I can counter. That's pretty good for me. All right, I go to 9. Draw. Oh, there we go. Finally. Island it is. Ezreal, Agency Chief, is on the scene. And I don't really think that Aurelia is going to beat that, though. Double Aurelia is pretty funny. It's got Hexproof. It's got Lifelink. It's got Vigilance. A 6/7 reach. And me fresh out of ways to counter it. Okay. That's pretty big. I'm going to crack the clue. I'll leave 1 clue. I don't need a lot for Ezreal here. Because if I find Out Cold, it would be really nice. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. And they can draw a card. But they don't get to Lightning Helix. Whew. Double Aurelia. All right, that was quite the game. That was interesting. And that ranks us up to Diamond 3. All right, let's keep going. Did I have fun? It was all right. It was all right. All right, 4-0. We can go for the clean 7-0. Those are hard to get. It's hard to go 7-0. But if any deck can do it, it's certainly going to be this deck. Here we're going to curve Inspector into Market Watch Phantom. And then if it looks like I'm going to miss a land drop, they can deduce on turn 3. But this deck's going to flow smooth like butter. We even played 18 lands. See, no reason to think we would ever miss a land drop. Though drawing like 7 planes last game was definitely, that was a little tough. Okay, if they don't have a 2-drop, they're in a lot of trouble. All right, that's pretty good. I'm just going to attack. And that was the creature I'd hoped they'd block. And then I get to play my combat trick to win the fight and get a clue. The thing is, if they block Novice Inspector and have Auspicious Arrival or, something like that, then it doesn't work out very well. So they did make, I think, the right block. Let's go Perimeter Enforcer to give the Market Watch Phantom flying. Yeah, let's just attack for 2 in the air. I'm not going to bother trying to bluff a point there. I guess I could, but I can also block the Forensic Researcher, though I guess there's no real chance that that is attacking here. And then I'm going to deduce here, end of turn. So generally when you have deduce and a clue in play, it's better to cast deduce because you cycle and then you have a clue in play that you could crack later. Whereas, and maybe you want the clue for some other purpose. You've already spent the mana to get the clue. Deduce gets you a clue plus a card. Cracking a clue just gets you a card. So it's a little better to cast it generally. Okay. Wow, they're ditching a Vengeful Tracker? I guess they didn't have the mana to play it. Okay. Let's... Do I want to out cold? I could play Ezrim. I'm going to crack one of these clues. I just think if I play Ezrim on 6 mana, I'm just going to win. So attack with these 2. Offer to trade. And then I think past the turn, though. Actually, I should have just cracked the clue earlier. They're not going to play around a counterspell. And if I draw a Novice Inspector, I'll be happy I did it that way. Oh, if Great Witness was 1 card deeper or 1 card sooner, I could have done that instead of cracking a clue. That would have been nice. Another Jaded Analyst to get another loot in. Sure. Not a big loss, I wouldn't say, or not a big problem. It loses Defender. Let's draw land. I mean, they could have a counterspell, but whatever. I'm not going to concern myself with that. I don't think I'm supposed to wait multiple turns to play Ezrim here. Okay, and then Perimeter Enforcer now gets a bonus. And I investigate twice. Are they going to try to kill it in response? Well, I already have a clue in play, so that's not actually going to work. All right. And then the Perimeter Enforcer gets to enforce the perimeter. And I don't think it really makes sense to attack with Market Watch Phantom. They can just block with Forensic Researcher. So they can tap down one of my creatures with that, but that doesn't do too much. They can also untap a land if they want. I think they're just going to take 2, but we'll see. Oh, they have unauthorized exit. They're going to bounce it. Sure. Not too concerning. And then on their turn, I mean, how are they going to deal with Ezrim is, I guess, the question. Oh, Prophet's Eidetic Memory is a very good card. So they get to immediately draw a card, and then at the beginning of combat on their turn, they put +1/+1 counters on target creature equal to the number of extra cards you've drawn this turn. So the number of cards you draw on -1. Sure, you can put that on the Jaded Analyst. It's got Vigilance. It can get in there. Oh, the Projector Inspector instead. Are they going to attack here? Can I block with Ezrim? Okay, they got me. I don't want to block with Ezrim. I could, though, if I wanted to. Let's see what they've got. They didn't play a land. Interesting. They're on 13. I think I'm just going to go to combat. And I think if they Forensic Researcher the Ezrim, yeah, I will probably sack a clue to deal 5 to them. Seems like that's worth it. Okay, sack a clue. Let's get Hexproof here. They're going to target it again. I'll give it Hexproof again. Just watch me. I've got a lot of clues running around, so Burden of Proof. All right. And we'll sack another clue, I guess. Hexproof. Oh, now I can give it Lifelink because I already have given it Hexproof, so yeah. All right. Hit and I guess play Perimeter Enforcer and Crovod Haunch. I guess I actually should have played the Enforcer first so that I could get my Market Watch Phantom flying. Though I kind of wanted to see what they're going to do with Ezrim, but it seemed fairly predictable that they were going to at least use the Forensic Researcher, so I think I should have played the Perimeter Enforcer first. Not that this game's losable, but technically I think that would have been better. End of turn, I'm not going to do anything. Then on my turn, Suspicious Detonation, kaboom. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I should, this looks like lethal to me here. Assuming they use Forensic Researcher on Ezram, which I kind of feel like they're going to. Oh, maybe they're going to use it on the Market Watch Phantom. No, they're going to use it on Ezram, sack a clue, hexproof, and then out cold their other two things, and attack for 8. All right. 5-0. Getting very close to the 7-0. And the combination of Ezram plus 3 Novice Inspectors, this deck's a nice one. All right. The Mythic battles continue. I'm on the play. I will keep this hand. It doesn't have the turn 1 Novice Inspector. Very sad. What I think I'm going to do is go, Island, Deduce. If I draw Plains, I actually still probably cast Deduce on turn 2, just for curve purposes. And then if I don't draw a land, I guess I'll play this as the branch as a land, but I kind of do want to draw a land so I can flip the branch up at some point. Well, you can't always get what you want. All right, let's play a face-down creature. Could definitely lose this game. If we don't draw a white source, it's going to be tough. They played a turn 2 Tunnel Tipster. This card's really good. And I guess what I'm hoping is if I just draw a white, I can hit... What I might do here is maybe hit with the face-down creature. Oh, I guess I can't flip it and leave up No More Lies, which is funny. I was thinking of flipping it up to tap down the Tunnel Tipster, but it doesn't seem like something that'll happen. The branch has been good as the 18th land so far. That's kind of nice. All right, they played a face-down creature. They're going to get their counter. All right, Plains. No, let's crack this clue here. If I don't draw Plains here, I'm in trouble. Island doesn't really help too much. I guess I'm going to attack and flip this. And then untap it. So it's like, wow. It's like it's got Vigilance. I guess it already has Vigilance. I didn't need to go through that whole rigmarole, but it's fine. Okay, well, if I draw Plains this turn, I mean, I guess I have the Cold Case Cracker to play, but I'm going to need to be a little more efficient than that. Plains would let me go face down Gatekeeper, leave up No More Lies or Gatekeeper, which is kind of nice. I'm fairly behind at this point. And Sumala Sentry. Oh. Into another face down creature. Yeah, this isn't going to go well for me. They didn't attack? Oh, and I didn't draw a land, of course. All right, whack you for 3. It's like I mulligan to 1, because I currently have 6 uncastable cards in my hand. I guess Unyielding Gatekeeper I can play face down, but it's not going well. The problem is these cards are at this point not going to do all that much. So I think the dream of 7-0 is it's not looking great. Sure, I'll take it. I mean, I guess they're going to flip a Crocodile. Yep. Okay, I'm going to take some damage. Sentry. All right. That's enough for me. If I had drawn a Plains and could go Gatekeeper, exile the Sentry, attack for 6, then maybe we could be talking, but that was not going to get there. And that's part of the reason it's hard to go 7-0. So at least one of the games you just not draw Plains or what have you. The other hand, this game looks very different. Opponent mold. Obviously going to lead on Novice Inspector. The question is turn 2 Perimeter Enforcer or No More Lies? We'll see. It's kind of nice to leave up No More Lies because the Perimeter Inspector is only hitting for 1 on the next turn probably, maybe 2 at most. And I have a clue, so if they don't play anything, I can just crack the clue. Would them playing a creature matter too much? Oh, see, look. Innocent Bystander gets completely dunked on by Novice Inspector. Let's just wait here. Red-green has a lot of disguised creatures, so I would kind of expect to see one of those this turn. Yep. Exile that thing. What do we get? A Borat Clan Basher. Yeah, that was pretty good. Land. It's kind of off curve, but I'll play the Perimeter Enforcer. The reason is, if I play Griffknot and then this hits for 4-point life swing, so it's a lot more than Crime Stopper Sprite, and I don't really need to tap down the Innocent Bystander here. If they're going to take out my Enforcer, I guess that's something. All right. They do nothing. I'm going to attack the Bystander. I will block with Novice Inspector. That trade has been on the board the entire time. Case of the Filched Falcon. Let's just play the Griffin Tracker. Submit 0 and hit with the Enforcer. Go to 22. Enforcer's so hard to race. If it gets a couple little pecks in, maybe one's for 2, some for 1, you're just talking a massive life swing. I will take it. I'm definitely not blocking against a deck that could have a bunch of combat tricks and or flip up their creature. Let's see. What is the best way to do this? I guess... Oh, this is an artifact? Oh, yeah, this is easy. I'm just going to cast this face up. To pump the Perimeter Enforcer, and then attack in the air for 5. Looks like they might have maybe a fight spell of some kind. I'm not entirely sure what they've got here. And then I will... After that, I think they probably just have a Nervous Gardener they're going to flip up. It's kind of my guess, but we'll see. And then I'll play Case of the Filched Falcon, and it'll actually be solved here, thanks to the Granite Witness, which is sick, because now they're just super dead. Like, I can just make another flyer. I mean, it's not technically lethal here, but it's very close. Yeah, I will take it. I guess it's not a Nervous Gardener after all. A Killer Among Us. Sure, they get 3 things, and then one of them's the killer, and they can sack it to put counters on it and all that. Is it the Merfolk? Is it the Goblin? Does it matter? The answer is no. Let's enforce the perimeter here and put my opponent down pretty low. Puts him to 2, I think. Yeah. And let's just pass with cracking a clue up. And they can't even kill us even if they had Hustle Bustle. I don't think. Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 16, 20. Actually, they might have been able to, funnily enough. It would be close, but yeah. Okay. Well, you don't need to sack Killer Among Us yet. Okay, I guess they do. Novice Inspector will block 1, and then I'll block another one, and I'll take 10 or something. Fanatical Strength, +3/+3 and Trample. All right. They got me kind of low, but not in a way that was particularly close. And that'll do it. 6-1. We'll take the 7-1. If we can get the 7-1, I'll be very happy with how this draft ended up. This many Novice Inspectors, you really can't lose. All right. Hopefully the last game, because that means we got a dub. Oh, I'm on the play with double Novice Inspector. Let's game. This is actually kind of an interesting hand for Unyielding Gatekeeper. My opponent even did mulligan. So I'm certainly going to play the turn 1 Novice Inspector, but the question is, do I just play a face-up Gatekeeper on 2 on the play? It's kind of tempting because I have Crime Stopper Sprite, so if they don't have a 2-drop, then playing the Gatekeeper is going to be awesome. Because they just do nothing. I hit them, probably play another Novice Inspector, and crack a clue. The problem is if they have a 2-drop, I guess I will wish I hadn't played the Gatekeeper. Oh, and their 3-drop I probably can't tap down anyway. Oh, well. Market Watch Phantom, here to save us from any tough decisions. Of course I'm going to play the good 2-drop, and then I'll play the face-down Gatekeeper. Do I need to play this now? I don't think so. I can just hit first. They don't even have a 2. This game's going to be a massacre. And then the Market Watch Phantom takes off for just a little time. Inside Source, I mean, that is a good one. Let's see. Let's go Griffnot Tracker. No, if I do that, then the Market Watch Phantom doesn't go to the skies. But I don't really want to turn the Gatekeeper face up. Actually, let's go Crime Stopper. Tap down the 2/2. And send for 5. No real blocks here. And then I'll just play the Novice Inspector. The downside is my Market Watch Phantom loses flying value, but the upside is I get to spend my mana. And when I have 2 clues to crack, I feel like I'm in a spot where I definitely need to use all my mana. Look, just because we're winning by a mile does not mean we shouldn't, strive to play correctly, as always. Jeskai. Oh, that's rarely seen. Into a face-up museum night watch. Okay. Let's... Do I want to crack... Yeah, let's just crack a clue. Okay, land. I'll just hit for 2 here. And leave up No More Lies. The Market Watch Phantom, it'll take to the skies eventually here. And then I can play a Griffnot Tracker next turn, which seems like a good sequence. So I'll be happy enough to do all that. And they can't make a big play this turn. Also, at some point, I guess I could Unyielding Gatekeeper and do some action here. Projector Inspector. Yeah, I will counter that. I don't think there's a reason not to here. Granite Witness. Oh yeah, I can play this face down. So my Market Watch Phantom takes to the air, and then I'll hit with the 2 flyers. And then now they don't even know. I've got another flyer hanging out here and a Unyielding Gatekeeper. So yeah, I would say that they're super dead here. Deduce. That is not going to do it, my friend. And we are cruising to a 7-1. You know what? A 7-0 would have been nicer, but I can't complain. I guess they could have Lightning Helix. If so, they do. They could Helix my Granite Witness. I guess they'd want to do that right now. And they have to have like Lightning Helix or it's just pretty much game over. Let's just attack with everything. I'm really not that worried about what they do here. They can block the face down creature with the 2/2. They can chump the Market Watch Phantom and then take 1,000,000 damage. Okay. That also works. A little bit of rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic here, I would say. I guess if they have Helix or another removal spell, they don't technically die this instant. Yeah, but I really think they wanted to do that when I was tapped out. It seemed kind of crazy not to. They're not technically dead here, but close enough. And you know what? This deck was just busted. Let's go. I don't know what we're going to learn besides the fact that the deck was busted, but let's go revel in it a little. There was a couple interesting things. So, first of all, 7-1 is a nice little record. Second of all, obviously the Ezreal go blue-white, never look back with triple Novice Inspector, which live up to the hype. You just look at these games. Novice Inspector's that good. But besides a good curve, I had 3 No More Lies, which ended up being pretty good most of the time. And the Branch of Vidugazi, I think, played out nicely as the 18th land that you could also play face down. And other than that, this was just a classic blue-white Detectives deck with all the best commons, a great rare, and some good uncommons. Just the way we drew it up. Well, that'll do it for today. And we're reaching the end of the MKM drafts here on this channel, just so you know. I'm going to segue back into more Cube. But, as other things come up, IPAs in our future, we'll hit those as well. As always, I appreciate you hanging out and watching me draft, whether it be Cube, MKM, or, who knows what else. And you know what? I'll be back tomorrow with another draft. And I do truly hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and you won't miss a single draft.